Anti-vax mom says she gave out lollipops tainted with chicken pox for Halloween. This was an article I read on the other day on AOL.news by Alex Lasker. Yes, you heard me right. This lady in Australia, who identifies herself as Sarah Walker, an RN, shared that her son contracted chickenpox and that she planned to help others in her community by spreading the virus through candy. Walker wrote, "We have the packaging, opening and closing down pat and can't wait to help others in our community." Thankfully, Walker went ahead, whether she went ahead with her scheme or not was entirely made up. Queensland Health told News.com that the risk of chickenpox being transmitted through lollipops would be extremely low since the virus doesn't live long on surfaces. That was from Alex Lasker. Hello, my name is LaDonna Burke. Trying to work getting into the nursing program at Albany Tech. I'm married for almost 29 years. Our anniversary is in January. I have two children. Dylan's 16 and Dalton is 15. I work as a para at Kitchafooty Primary School in Leesburg. I work with special needs kids and I love my job. I want to talk to you today about vaccines. I feel I can speak on this topic because I've done extensive research from expert sources. I have received vaccines in my life and I have let my children receive vaccines. You really need to know the pros and cons of vaccines so that you can make an informed decision to vaccinate or not to vaccinate. The central idea of this speech is to pass along vital information about the pros and cons of vaccines. First, I will define vaccine and tell you how they work in our bodies and give you some pros and cons. And finally, I will share with you some people in the public, what they think about vaccines. Now, I'm sure you're very, very curious to know more, so let's start with the definition of vaccines and some information to help you understand what they do. A vaccine is a substance used to stimulate the production of antibodies and provide immunity against one or more diseases. Vaccines are prepared in a lab, made from dead or weakened forms of the disease, its products, or synthetic substitutes, treated to act as an agent without introducing the disease. So they give you just this little bit of stuff and but not the actual disease. Vaccines teach our bodies to recognize new diseases. Our body's immune system helps protect against pathogens that cause infection. Vaccines are an important form of primary prevention. They have allowed us to control diseases that once threatened many lives, such as measles, polio, tetanus, and whooping cough. Now that we know what a vaccine is and how our immune system works with vaccines, let's talk about some pros and cons. All the information I am going to give you on the pros and cons comes from an excerpt from vaccines.procon.org. Okay, here's the pros for vaccines. Vaccines can save children's lives, according to Shot at Life, a United Nations Foundation partner organization. Vaccines save 2.5 million children from preventable diseases every year. The ingredients in vaccines are safe in the amounts used. Major medical organizations state that vaccines are safe. These organizations include CDC, Food and Drug Administration, UNICEF, and World Health Organizations. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services states vaccines are some of the safest medical products available. Adverse reactions to vaccines are extremely rare. The most common side effect of vaccines is anaphylaxis. Occurs in 1 per several 100,000 to per 1 million vaccines. Vaccines protect the herd. Herd immunity, or community immunity, means that when a critical portion of a population is vaccinated against a contagious disease, it is unlikely that an outbreak of the disease will occur, so most members of the community will be protected. Vaccines save children and their parents time and money. Vaccines cost less in time and money to obtain than infectious diseases cost in time off work, to care for sick children, potential long-term disability care, and medical costs. Vaccines protect future generations. Vaccinated mothers protect their unborn children from viruses that could potentially cause birth defects, and vaccinated communities can help eradicate diseases for future generations. Vaccines eradicated smallpox and have nearly eradicated other diseases such as polio. Vaccine preventable diseases have not disappeared, so vaccination is still necessary. Vaccines provide economic benefits for society, and the CDC estimates that children vaccinated between 1984 and 2014 have yielded net savings of $1.38 trillion in society costs, including money saved by preventing loss, productivity due to disability, and earth death. Kinds of vaccines. Vaccines can cause serious and sometimes fatal side effects. According to the CDC, all vaccines carry a risk of a life-threatening allergic reaction, anaphylaxis, in 1 per million children. Vaccines contain harmful ingredients. Some physicians believe an organic mercury compound found in trace amounts in one flu vaccine for children and other vaccines for adults is linked to autism. The government should not intervene in personal medical choices. Medical decisions for children should be left to the parents or caregiver. Mandatory vaccines infringe upon constitutionally protected religious freedoms. Several religions oppose vaccines and mandatory vaccinations. Vaccines can contain ingredients some people consider immoral or otherwise objectionable. Some vaccines for DTaP, HEPA, RV, HIV, HPV, IPV, flu, MMR, and chickenpox are made using animal products like chicken eggs, bovine casein, insect cells, cocker spaniel cells, pig gelatin, and cells from African green monkeys, making those vaccines conflict with some vegetarian and vegan philosophies. Others consider it problematic that some vaccines are produced using human albumin, a blood plasma protein. Vaccines are unnatural, and natural immunity is more effective than vaccination. Even pro-vaccine organizations state that natural vaccination causes better immunity. Diseases that vaccines target have essentially disappeared. There is no reason to vaccinate against diseases that no longer occur in the United States. Most diseases that vaccinate target are relatively harmless in many cases, thus making vaccines unnecessary. The chickenpox is often just a rash with blisters. The measles is normally a rash accompanied by fever. Rubella is often just a virus with a rash and low fever. Rotavirus can normally be treated with hydration and probiotics. We have covered a lot of information now. Let's hear some views from the public. I recently read an article from Pharmacy Times titled "Antivirus Celebrities Have Inordinate Amount of Influence." Actress Jessica Biel recently spoke out publicly against California State Bill 276, which states that it to limit medical exemption from vaccinations. Jenny McCarthy has been vocal for more than a decade about her belief that vaccines caused her son's autism. Celebrity anti-vaxxers have a variety of concerns about adverse effects, parental freedom, and safety, but they all have something in common. None of them are scientifically accurate. Despite McCarthy's vocal belief in vaccine causing autism, the CDC has found absolutely no link. Chris Altman, pharmacy manager of clinical and immunization programs for Rite Aid in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, states celebrities have a strong influence just in general. It seems to me that they are using those platforms to then push out their personal views on healthcare. Bale said in a statement on Instagram after receiving significant backlash on her lobbying against SB 276, "I believe in giving doctors and the families they treat the ability to decide what's best for their patients and the ability to provide that treatment. Altman said that he thinks the strongest effect of celebrities' opinions are on those who might be on the fence about vaccine, adding that if a celebrity speaks out against vaccinations, it could push that person over the edge and into the anti-vaccination camp. Now that you know some pros and cons, I hope all this has helped you decide that you are going to use vaccination. If you are or not going to use vaccinations. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you.
And now you have to